speaking tour sponsored by various solidarity organizations and Philippine organizations here in order to get support for the resumption of formal peace talks in the Philippines that would address the roots of the armed conflict, especially land reform for the about 65 million peasants in the Philippines, and other reforms like national industrialization, as well as against the increasing U.S. military intervention in the Philippines, among other things.
What's the problem right now in the Philippines?
The problem is there are so many poor people suffering in a country that is very rich in natural resources. About 85% of the Filipinos live below the poverty line, while only less than 1% dominate the whole country, with U.S. and other foreign corporations sucking out the riches of the country.
So what's your vision? I mean, you've already touched it a little bit.
Yes. Our vision is for a just and lasting peace, for a Philippines that is truly sovereign, with farmers and peasants having their land to till, with workers having their rights, and also all the women, the youth, the indigenous people enjoying the riches of the Philippines and having a just and lasting peace. Well, Australia is one of the important countries in Asia Pacific. There are many Filipino organizations here. I think the number is estimated at 140,000 Filipinos in Australia. They're a big force that would help in the struggle now and in the future. There are also solidarity organizations, trade unions that have shown solidarity. And Australia also plays an important role because it has a fairly big military assistance program to the Philippines. The estimate is about 129 million Australian dollars last year given to the Philippines, the second biggest next to the United States, and also gives training to about 130 Philippine military officers. And you know, the Philippine military is being accused of numerous human rights violations, like extrajudicial killings numbering more than 1,200, more than 200 enforced disappearances, torture, and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of people through their military operations. So we would like that the progressive parliamentarians and solidarity organizations and the Philippine organizations also raise the question why there is such a big military aid to the Philippines and to the Philippine military that is causing so much danger and loss of lives to the Philippine people.
And how important is international support in this?
It's vital. We know that the Vietnamese people's struggle was victorious to a great extent, also through international solidarity. The struggle against apartheid also won international solidarity. So this kind of solidarity will be very important for the Filipino people, also in terms of rebuilding and reconstructing the Philippine economy and society later.
I'm just interested to ask about the land reform. In your forum yesterday with the National Council of Churches, it was interesting that you pointed out that only 1% of the population of the Philippines actually control much of the land operations. You suggested that one good program is the redistribution of the land. How confident are you that these almost 20 big families, the rich families, will actually let go of their own land?
We expect that they will not let go of their land. There must be a strong people's movement, supported also by their armed strength, like the New People's Army, and international solidarity.
afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for coming. My name is Jake Lynch. I'm the Director of the Centre for Peace and Conflict Studies here. I'm very pleased to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and continuing custodians of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I'm very pleased to welcome our two guests today, Luis Jalandoni and Coni Ledesma from the National Democratic Front of the Philippines. We will be hearing from them in person in just a short while.